this is the second. You know, I kind of gave him credibility, as I do with these guys. You know that. That's my history. I try to find a way to give them credibility, and I gave him a little bit of credibility, considering, fucking. I was like, oh, they're using natural freaking, phenomenon, natural, but then now we're finding evidence that they can't even do that. That they're just cheating every step of the way. They're manipulating, not manipulating nature. To me, I've come up with this many reasoning. Manipulating nature is Satan. Using nature or coinciding with nature and using nature to benefit yourself is an act of God. So it's that simple. It's like this new thing. So controlling nature, the over manipulation of nature, is the ultimate symbol of Satan, and the coincidence with nature is the ultimate semblance of God. So what we're discovering now is that, like, you give these fools a chance or something, but you find out that they are just freaking terrible freaking assholes. So you try to maybe believe that they're not terrible assholes, that the rulers of the planet, as we know it, aren't incredible assholes. But
so, like in Portland, certain part of the earth, and during those years, 2002, 2003, I've talked about, like, when they were bombing Afghanistan, then bombing Iraq, feeling sensitive to it, whether it be my genetics or even my sensitivity, and in relation to geomagnetic storms.
Well,
without even knowing that there's a link between this, what if that could be quantitative?
Well, here's the thing,
or validated through this process?
We're not fucking scientists, and I'm pretty sure.
But the idea of people being under, without even knowing it, subconscious stress or duress from things they don't even understand, from bombs going off somewhere, affecting this field, and the emotion associated with that.
What we're looking at with the studies is a very scientific approach to this. It's not like the electromagnetic fields are obviously affected by nuclear weapons, right? But the way you're thinking about it is a more spiritual approach that, like, it's weapons in general are affecting electromagnetic fields because they're affecting human consciousness.
Other forces,
But that's something you can't scientifically
prove
in any way.
This is they're going to look at that and laugh. But what they're looking at right now, from what I gather, and I'll look at more of it, some revelation from 1960s testing on the part of Russia and the U.S. That's a long time ago. So they're just now telling us about this then. So obviously at a more advanced level. Previously, the narrative was they used the solar flares, but when you have, all right, here we have our vodka tonic with coffee grind. Tried the lemon lime, that makes this tolerable.
Yeah, because solar flares. There's no sweetener in it.
Affecting wars affecting geomagnetic fields, affecting human consciousness. It's a loop.
This is what you're saying.
It's a loop. They get this machine going, like,
But technically, it might not just be because it's an atomic bomb we're using. It could just be because we're using bombs in general, right? Which would be more of a human consciousness as a general deflecting something that's unnatural.
Now, study has already been done into that direction on whether or not human emotion during 9/11 caused a spike during the periods in which towers were being hit by planes. There's one website that was tracking the theory that either fear, like global fear, like, oh my God, like as people watch it on TV at the same time, humans glued to the TV, being afraid at the same time, affecting the whole field. That was pretty much where they were.
This is.
And then other people took the theory in a different direction. The magnetic field changed, but it wasn't caused by humans. It was caused by high-tech, DARPA, mine weapon units. So, I mean, there's different theories, but there is documented geomagnetic flux. The moments the towers were being struck.
It only makes sense that if humans were affected by geomagnetic fields as much as we believe they are, that humans themselves are capable of emitting geomagnetic
That's
fields
obviously
that
where this
affect other
goes.
things.
And we were talking about this a
Yeah.
few years ago, and Dark City, we haven't really talked about that in a while. Dark Crystal, the movie, has some sun symbolism about a 3-sun prophecy, just to make this a little bit more weird. And I felt like watching that again. But basically, he's on a mission like Lord of the Rings, right? When he's trying to cast down the ring in Mordor, in Dark Crystal, he's trying to, the Archons are the Skeksis. And in the end, whatever he does makes them become whole again and go back to wherever they were when the sun crosses over and goes in the eclipse. And
But this is what's funny. It's like all these spiritual
I feel like
things.
there's
The way
right.
you describe them is the same type. You could take like a normal working class guy and make him understand these things in a different way. In an even more real way. You could take a real way and describe all these same freaking things. I mean, like, yeah, this is like I'm trying to bridge this gap between like realism and spiritualism.
So, to the average human being, whether it's this topic where in the sun, geomagnetic, and all this other stuff,
well, there's the average human being,
and then getting over and talking about World War III from another perspective other than what most people are looking at it. Like, say, oh, they want to stage a war to populate the planet. Most people are like, they're gonna tune out of that. This is stuff I should keep looking at. I've just got to just refocus on those people that are even interested in it to begin with and give them more information. And then they can go share that information with others.
This is the most interesting aspect of anything you ever talk
about.
To
me it is, and it's exciting.
And most people don't even pay attention
to it. What I'm saying is it gets overwhelming. Yeah, because we were talking about dealing with people at a certain place.
Because this is
how do you coexist
with
those?
Solar flares and geomagnetic activity is actually a solution. And this is things that we can work with scientifically to and seeing stories like that where there's actually come on, this is like actual stuff we can use. It's like Anti-Fi runs around going, blah, 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 everyone's a Nazi. But we have like actual shit that we know that they are using against us.
Right. That was my point with the controlled revolution.
And like no one freaking gives a flying
Remember
shit.
Before we were talking about this before Trump got into office? Just all this stuff erupted since we got up here last year. They're the craziest shit ever. That at one point you're like, well, it makes sense for them to be fighting a little bit. And now we're at the point where people aren't even Nazis are getting jumped by Antifa. And in Portland, some of them more. They're being affected by a special frequency when this shit happens. And I share it with some of them. Some of them get it. I think it's still a little bit strange.
But see, here's like the
but it's not that
of what would keep our world, well, we're already fucked anyway. But it's like, so if electromagnetic fields are being used against us, sure. But here's the thing: us as humans, we are not gonna go, oh, okay. Well, let's use natural electromagnetic fields to fight the unnatural electromagnetic field. That's not going to happen. You know what we're going to do? We're going to be like, oh, let's create our own electromagnetic fields, falsely, out nature to combat these electromagnetic fields. But they're giving, and then there's a war of electromagnetic fields.
That's what we're seeing right now. Yeah,
it's not. and we're still doing the same stupid human bullshit. That is, it's like it's
you've been
nice
watching the Berkeley fights, then.
No, I don't watch shit.
Okay, so it went from kind of things have progressed to where it's like a spiraling of electromagnetic fields where in the last few months they're going full to blows and you're trying to track what's going on and spin around so fast and they're showing up with capes and costumes and helmets and baseball bats and they're
but I mean in that when you're just missing about that, this is what people call the human condition.
They're missing the battle.
They're missing the battleground. There's few of us that see the actual battleground. That's for sure. And the thing is, dude, it doesn't freaking matter. We see the battleground, but the battleground is always there. We won't win in this life, that's for sure. It's an ongoing battle. Or maybe not, freaking, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just a philosopher, you know. I like to think about things just like you. We come up with our own fucking shit, but in the end, man, we have no fucking idea. Just like any man that's ever existed, the most brilliant men in the universe, the most brilliant men ever to exist in fucking history, still have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Right.
You know, just like we don't.
Now, the solar flares, though, people using their own, I think the knowledge, maybe it's just echoing what you're saying, should be put out there that we can do this. But I don't see much point behind trying to rally the masses behind a singular movement. It's like on their own. Right, it's stepping back.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you my conclusion of what and I remember,
think we're in agreement, though. And
I remember we talked a lot about that, and I was always like, yeah, we can get behind this, and we can get behind. But then let's see. Here's my new thing.
Things have changed in the last year.
No. Here's my new thing. As solar flares, I'm still aware of when they happen. I'm still aware of what they're doing, but what I'm doing is I'm changing this to a personal thing.
Right.
I'm fucking using solar flares to help me personally, and I believe that is what I was missing anyway. Because I was like, we could make social change with solar flares, but there is the mistake. That is the crucial mistake that humans make in general. Is that we're always trying to like get other humans to freaking like, let's make social change with solar flares, but in reality what we should think is like, let's make change with solar flares in ourselves, So I've actually been watching space weather and shit, and fucking doing that shit and trying to do certain things, and it works.
Wow.
It's weird. And in certain times, like trying to time things with solar flares, I also find out that when solar flares, when they're very prominent, there's also really bad weather or weird weather, So because I hike and I backpack and ski a lot and stuff, so skiing that's good, but actually it's good
like
for
more thunderstorms, for one thing, or
more
lightning.
Thunderstorms are just weird weather.
Okay.
Weirder weather. Things are turbulent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way. Weather-wise, when solar flares, freaking. So I'm just then that's where I'm at right now. That whole Costilla County shit and all that shit, man. That just and all the shit that's coming. It's just like that's just, and you're just like fuck, man. I mean, like, why do I give a fuck about people? I mean, like, there's got to be a better way to do this, But we all know that starting with ourselves is like, but we don't know. You can take any freaking personal. You can take any fucking like any of your theories, any of your shit you're talking about, and you can just make that a personal thing. It'll make you a better person, dude.
I have put a lot of energy into other things. I'm trying to. I'm on the. I know. Just do it, man. I'm literally right there.
But I'm not just saying just do it. I mean, like, there's. I don't know.
I'm at the right time, at the right
really
place, right here to be focused on it, though.
Focused on yourself.
It was in Costilla County when I even tried to put those slides together for the first time, and I haven't really returned to it, but it's been calling me back. The solar flare presentation.
Yeah, because it's fucking brilliant.
It's like
it's fucking brilliant, dude. I mean, for fuck's sakes, that shit is fucking. I'm telling you, it's 100 years, and people in 100 years will be like, "Look, this fucker knew what the fuck was going on with this shit." And it'll be even more powerful because this is a technology. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's the fucking sun, dude.
Well,
it doesn't stop like freaking shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
I haven't read it yet. It's kind of preserving it, but Son of God by Gregory Sam. So he's getting into that from his perspective, not necessarily the stuff what we're talking about specifically, but more the sun as a conscious being. But that's completely taboo, apparently.
No way, dude. I believe that's fucking. That's what I'm kind of getting at too.
Right, with regards to organized religion.
Nature itself.
Organized religion.
Nature itself is a conscious being. You know, the fucking and you know, here's a theory. Let me think about it. Let me hold on. Because I think about a lot of stuff, so I have to freaking think about this. I'm trying to remember this. Freaking oh no, it's not. Oh, check this shit out. This is a theory. Let it come back. It's downloading. It's downloading. All right. So I was thinking about when I was in the mountains. I was thinking, this is it. Civilization. Civilization as in humans and shit. Like us. Civilization as in agriculture that led to industrialization, that led to humans being what they are. Civilization in general, being civilized, actually has a consciousness.
Okay.
I mean, like, fucking, like,
I definitely think generations of people that are born at certain times. I mean, that's
no,
without a doubt.
in a whole. Civilization, us fucking digging oil out of the fucking ground and doing all this, has a consciousness, right?
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing. Civilization right now, as a whole, as what it is going down, right? So, and I believe that civilization, as a consciousness, as a being, holds itself over us. That civilization will kill us before it kills itself. You know, freaking. Now that sounds weird, right? Right? But I'm talking about that civilization in general, as us, as it actually has a consciousness, is a thing. Civilization is a thing,
sounds
a
like cannibalism.
being.
It's going to cannibalize itself before it's gone.
It's going to cannibalize itself and kill itself before it lets us live.
And okay,
you know, and that's some brutal shit to think about. Because freaking,
it is.
Not only are we're hung up in
the
this
human
shit,
condition
dude,
is not in a good spot right now.
The human condition's not in a good spot, but civilization is wanting it dead because humans want civilization dead. We want to not be civilized anymore. We want to be spiritual. You know, we want to be spiritual and be freaking free and be enlightened and shit. And civilization is the opposite of that. Civilization requires, you know, freaking. It's weird though. I know it's weird, but I had that thought the other day, or not the other day, but I had that thought a while ago, and I was like, but I mean, like it's a consciousness that's trying to stop us. Civilization, is like, okay. So we talked about human consciousness as a whole. Well, civilization is like the Satan human consciousness as a whole. It's the greed and the I want money and I want bigger trucks and I want blah, blah, blah. That's civilization. And then you have the spiritual side of human consciousness, right? You know, there's and civilization is dying and it knows it. So civilization is, instead of dying and letting spirituality take over, it's going to kill us all.